Okay, so Lewis, you got the Times New Roman part right, but it's not double spaced, so I can't give you full credit for this assignment. I can let you turn...
Does it have 1-inch margins?
I think they're 1.2-inch margins. I know that trick, Lewis. Yeah, we're
It's
gonna have to
also
talk to the principal about this later.
You also
See
lose
me after
points because
class.
it's centered.
Also, no making the periods a size bigger.
I know all of these tricks. I use them myself.
Why would anyone bother making the periods size bigger?
It takes up more space.
Yeah, some teachers. I did that for my senior thesis in high school. It was supposed to be 10 pages. I had 9. I went back and I made all the periods size 13 instead of size 12.
You'd think something gets increased the size of a period would be completely insignificant, but they add up.
Yeah,
Yep.
it adds up. Like if it's a long enough paper, mind you. If it's just like a 1-page paper, you're gonna get maybe like 2 lines. But you know, long enough paper, that stuff does.
Anyway, grinding in this is just as simple as going in and out of the same room, killing the same 3 Reaper things over and over again, because they actually do give you a pretty damn good red orb payout. And every time you kill the 3rd one, you get a green orb.
Does how you kill the enemy determine how much red orbs you get?
I think the orb count increases with your combo meter.
Okay.
Anyway, I have over 18,000 red orbs.
A fuckload.
That's over double 9,000.
And that's after getting everything for Alistair and all of the purple orbs and blue orbs that you can buy from the shop.
How
So
much
that's the
time
number
did that,
you want.
grinding take you then?
Hours. It took hours.
So you weren't kidding when you said 3 hours. No, 3 years.
No.
3 years. You said 3 years.
I wasn't kidding. But this is the amount of orbs that you want after buying everything, every mandatory thing that you can get if you want to get all of the moves for Ifrit the moment you get it. That's why I grinded to this specific number intentionally. You need about 18,000.
Is Ifrit the better sword than Alistair?
Ifrit is the punching gauntlet. It's stronger but slower.
Oh, okay.
And it can be charged up. I personally prefer using the sword, but the gauntlet weapons in the Devil May Cry games are all fun to use.
Especially
I'm not
4.
dead.
Get back here!
It's only mostly dead.
Now, Phantom in this fight is significantly tougher than he is in his previous incarnations, but since I just grinded up like everything, I'm not gonna have any trouble with this guy at all.
Is there any reason why this guy is trying to kill you, or is he just...
He's a demon of the underworld and you're a demon hunter.
Oh, so
Also, he thinks you smell nice and he wants to eat you.
oh.
Gay.
Is that Axe body spray?
What? Do we have a second health bar?
Yeah, it got big enough.
Oh, okay. That's, okay.
Air raid! This is totally not fair.
Unlimited power.
Air raid actually exists in 3, but you need the Neven weapon to use it. That's the electric guitar that nobody knows how to use, but is actually pretty awesome if you learn how to use it. Which I can't be bothered to.
No, Scorpion Spider Magma thing. Aim for where he's going, not where he is.
This move, this lava thing, is something that the first boss in Devil May Cry 4 does as well.
Yeah.
Was it a throwback?
Although it's needlessly pointless in 4 because you can just double bring your way around all you want.
Well, in 4, no, Devilbringer only brings you toward the boss, and that's not a very good place to be when he's launching magma from under your feet.
I found it good for just kind of darting myself around.
Okay, so for some reason, whenever I see Dante in that form, I'm reminded of the gliding in the Arkham games. So now I'm just wondering why Batman doesn't have lightning gauntlets where he can just force lightning everywhere.
Wait till Origins.
Hey, you remember the ending of Resident Evil 6, Leon's story, where the bad guy falls off a building and gets speared on a sharp, pointy thing?
Saruman?
Only in the extended edition of Devil May Cry. In the normal edition of Devil May Cry, Dante just says, "Yep, we sure did kill that spider. He's not gonna bother us anymore, we swear."
And then he comes back in Devil May Cry 2, except lamer.
You're right. I'm his son, Dante. Sweet dreams.
Goodbye.
The soundtrack for this game really loves the organ, doesn't it?
It's symbolic.
Devil May Cry's soundtrack is really good. It's one thing that you can count on. Even in Devil May Cry 2, the music is great. The only game that doesn't have good music is DMC, which is dubstep everywhere. Like there are
No, Skrillex. A MacBook is not an instrument.
There are a few memorable tracks that I kind of really liked in that game, but for the most part, I can't remember what the music sounded like in any given part of the game.
Which is odd, because that's kind of the similar opinion that I had with this game, because the only themes that immediately stuck to mind was some of the battle themes.
Auto-tune isn't an instrument either.
Blue orb. Yay. Also, I bought a fuck ton of items just because.
Well, it's not like you're going to be doing anything else with the red orbs after this, right?
Right. But actually, some of the items in this game are balls to the wall broken. There's the untouchable. It makes you temporarily invincible and gives you infinite devil trigger.
Is it expensive?
I think so. I think you can only hold one at a time, too. I think it gives you infinite devil trigger. I might be getting my wires crossed there.
You can only
Also,
buy items and upgrade stuff at the beginning of a mission or at one of those.
No, whenever you find the statues, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, pick up the shiny thing. Do you know what the shiny thing is here?
Well, it's on his crotch, so I'm not necessarily.
It's a grenade gun!
I got a grenade gun.
The thing had a grenade gun for a deck?
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
Amazing.
Anyway, 3 openings to insert something, and we just picked up a trident.
To insert something. It's funny because it's true.
You. Were you just talking to me? Were you just talking to me about standards?
Hey, I don't have standards. I thought you did.
If you can make jokes like that, I can fucking use Comic Sans in my videos.
No, but that's like the #1 rule of the internet that you don't do. You don't use Comic Sans for anything.
You only use Comic Sans if you're doing a Doge meme.
Yeah.
Such fond, much eye burning. Wow.
Well, maybe this entire playthrough is a Doge meme. Did you ever think about that? Such grind, much red orbs. Yay.
It's wow, you're doing it wrong. Worst internet person ever, 0 out of 10.
Let's just stop.
Well, we can't stop now. We've got like.
Well, Ted, we do know you have standards because you won't do B puns.
Yeah, that's like my one standard though.
May I ask, just before we go off too much of a tangent, why are B puns the
Because
lowest
it's
form
not
of
a
puns?
pun. It's just saying the same sentence but putting the emphasis on one word as if that's supposed to make it funny. It's not.
I think I can understand that, okay.
It's not a joke. That'd be
Wow,
like
that
me saying the food was very good today. That's not a joke. That's just me saying the word food weird for some reason.
The spoon is too big.
Wow, that castle actually looks like a castle as opposed to some sort of fantasy palace or something. It's like, wow, people actually design.
EGM gives this game a 9 out of 10. The castle actually looks like a castle.
Well, do you guys remember back in the day when video games designed places to actually look like places? It's like, wow. No, it's like, you know,
Alvos.
it's a castle with ramparts. Also, these guys are blades. In Devil May Cry 4, they're called assaults for some reason, but they're one of the only enemies that's recurred in, you know, most of the series. They're enemies in 2, but only in underwater sections. Underwater sections.
So the series generally. Oh, that's a cool thing. The handguns actually light up the area around Dante. I actually like that.
Yeah.
My question: the series generally makes a lot of new enemies for each installment. Then.
Yes.
It's not like they bring back the full of bill for every single time.
No. There are a few enemies that recurred in Devil May Cry 2, and a few that recurred in Devil May Cry 4, but for the most part, every game has its own complement of enemies. If I were to rate the games on their enemy lineup, 4 would be at the top, because it has, in my opinion, it has the best enemy variety without, you know, relying too heavily on enemies that can't be comboed effectively. 3 had that problem. A lot of its enemies, apart from the Sand Reaper things, weren't really comboable, which kind of undermined the fact that it had this revolutionary new complicated combo system thing.
So is it faster to thrust like that instead of just running?
Yeah.
If you have Stinger level 2, it's faster. Stinger level 1 doesn't have as much distance.
In a few later games, if you run long enough, he'll just speed up after a while.
Yeah, in 4 you have a speed up upgrade that you can buy if you run non-stop. After a while, you'll start to sprint.
Oh, so
and if you're Nero,
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
yeah, and if you're Nero and you hit the taunt button while you're sprinting, you'll do a flying drop kick that sends enemies flying and is really cool and satisfying to pull off. Hard to aim in fixed camera situations, though.
So this is just going to be our backdash, where instead of just seeing Alucard shuffle around like an idiot for the entire game, we're just going to be hearing Dante go "Ah!" for the rest of the playthrough. Wonderful.
Yep.
You do it for so long that you actually forget how to walk. Makes it for very awkward situations when you're on a treadmill.
This is a good time to actually elaborate on what Dante's combos look like, because we're going to be doing a boring platforming section for the next couple seconds. Dante's combos actually focus on the direction that you're pressing the analog stick while you're locked on, and also on button pressing timing. Basically, if you want to do a basic 3-sword slash, just button mash. If you want to add 2 extra slashes to your combo, 2 slashes, pause, and then no, in this game I think it's 2 slashes, a pause, and then slash. If you want to do the whole stabby thing, you make that pause a longer pause.
Now that's what took me the longest to get used to when I started playing 3 and 4.
3 and 4 has different timing setups,
Yeah.
and honestly,
and I know it's different. I'm just saying the general kind of, instead of just kind of figuring out different button combinations, it's actual timing rather than...
yeah.
Bayonetta had that too.
Yeah, it encourages you not to button mash by giving you, reason to pay attention to how precise your sword strike buttons are. Honestly, I think in Bayonetta the timing is a bit weird, but the loading screen actually lets you practice at that.
More games need to do that.
I haven't played this, but apparently Project X Zone does that too. Or is it Project Cross Zone? I don't know.
It's Project Cross Zone.
Oh, I'm gonna call it Project X Zone because Project Cross Zone sounds...
I don't blame you, to be perfectly
I'm
honest.
gonna call it X Zone because America. And this is me.
The only game where John McClane will talk with Mega Man X.
This is me throwing in the towel at ever using the gauntlets when I don't have any moves for it, and just switching back to the sword.
Oh yeah, because you have to wait
Yeah,
till
you-
the next the thing. You have to find a thingy in order to buy the stuff.
No, I have to wait until the end of the mission, actually, because boss fight. Since we just mentioned Bayonetta, the line that Dante is about to say, "Flock off, Featherface," is one that Bayonetta actually quotes when she fights her own winged giant boss enemy at a coliseum.
Wait, he says "flock off, Featherface."
Yeah, it's really cheesy.
I don't know whether I should be impressed or disgusted at that pun.
Block off, Featherface, or you can
There's the line.
He's also a master ventriloquist.
Lip
voices
syncing in this game is
Dante?
horrible.
I can't remember his name, but I think he was one of the Power Rangers.
Johnny Young Bosch?
That's
The voice
Johnny-
of
No,
Dante.
Johnny Young Botch is Nero in 4.
the boss. 3 and 4 have a different voice actor, whatever his name was. I forget.
Yeah, I believe it's in DMC 1. It's the guy who was a Power Ranger. But
I'm pretty sure that Dante in DMC 3 was also a Power Ranger at some point, so that doesn't really narrow it down.
Let me,
I'll look it up
real
on-
quick. I recall looking it up last year, but I don't remember the name.
This boss looks pathetically easy the way you're fighting him. It's just like spam,
Well-
spam, spam. You're not even... Look, you can't even see him and you're still doing damage. It's just like we have to.
Well, because it locks on.
You just have to assume that you're hitting them off screen.
It's partially because I grind it up. But yeah, when you have air raid, Griffin is ridiculously, stupidly easy to beat. Granted, this is his first encounter, so he's relatively easy anyway.
The voice actor for Dante in this game is Drew Combs, or Coombs. There's 2 O's
Yeah.
there. No, he doesn't have any Power Rangers background.
It must be 3 then.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 3. Dante, Virgil, and Nero were all Power Rangers at some point.
Mundus, quick, give me Devil Hunters with attitude.
Well, who would be Alpha 5 then? Trish?
Well, didn't DMC3 have a Jester?
DMC3 had a Jester, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so that
he's
can be Alpha 5.
Alright, it's time for the upgraded Marionette. These guys are annoying.
What the heck is that weapon supposed to be?
Also, do you want to know what this enemy's name is? Fetish. It's called Fetish. Don't ask me why, because I have no idea.
Kamiya.
Maybe they're talking about the alternative term or definition for the word fetish.
There's an alternative definition for the word fish.
I'm looking it up right now.
Huh.
Let's see. No, Google, no.
Oh.
Why is it taking you to BDSM sites?
Fetish.
That's what you get for trying to actually Google the word fetish.
An inanimate object worshipped for its supposed magical powers or because it is considered to be inhabited by a spirit.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Okay, so that actually might work then.
Yeah.
So how did that
Okay.
just end up changing to something that you like sexually for some weird reason?
Well, no, but that's sexual fetish.
Yeah, but I just
You have to add the
linguistics
you have to add the
majors,
words.
explain how that happened. I'm actually
yeah, I don't
legitimately interested.
Well, I don't know. How did a word for happy turn into homosexual? Language is weird.
Especially English. English is a dumb language. We should all just evolve to use telepathy, and then we don't have to deal with that crap anymore.
What about that language from South Park when everyone comes from the future?
Oh, that's the one where everybody's bald.
Yeah.
And
All the races are combined and all the languages are combined, so it's just a mess.
Yeah, I've been trying
Wow.
to reinforce the ancient language for years now.
I actually got to stylish using the gauntlets with no moves. Like, wow.
Stylish
Really?
is the highest you can get. Combos.
Yeah, stylish is the highest combo. The combo system in DMC1 is a bit weird. It doesn't work the same way 3 and 4 does, where it has a meter that actually stops increasing if you use stale moves. What it'll actually do is it basically just lay on the pressure and keep laying it on, and it'll keep going up. But don't fire your guns, because if you fire the handguns, you'll pretty much lose all your combo bonus.
oh, so you
Unless
can't
you're
just
juggling.
stand at the other side of the room and shoot infinitely to cheese
Well, you
your way.
can, it's just you won't get a good score.
Well, you can't do that to cheese your combo bonus up to a stylish.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I could imagine that if they did leave that in, it'd be ridiculously easy to get tons and tons of stylishes on everything.
By the way, do you know that fireball thing that Nilo Angelo does during his fights? What I just bought, Inferno, the fireball shooting thing in Ifrit's Devil Trigger mode, is actually that move.
Huh. So you're pretty pimped out.
I don't
He's
know
just-
why
he's-
I'm
he's-
bothering to stand around and fight. I have more than enough orbs to open this pathway.
So that's all you need, red orbs, now, is just to open up doors.
Yeah, open up doors by items. There are only a few red orb things in the game, but there's a red orb gateway here, and the idea is that you're supposed to fight here until you have enough red orbs, because the enemies will just infinitely keep spawning. But I already have more than enough.
Does Dante automatically home in with that drop kick, or you just have to have good aim?
Well, when you use it's one of those moves that automatically locks on.
Oh, okay.
I
So
gotta
you just
say
gotta hope
that
the enemy doesn't move.
I gotta say that the fire gauntlets look like an incredibly satisfying weapon to use because it just,
Once you level them up, yeah.
'cause it
Oh,
just-
they are.
It looks like
He always-
it
he
deals
gets
tons
a
of damage.
He gets a
What?
gauntlet in every game.
One of the most annoying things about DMC for me, actually, was that they completely changed how the gauntlet weapons work. That and they look like magma gorilla hands.
Well, that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome, but if you're saying that's not as satisfying,
that said, using the whip to pull enemies in, and then just knocking them into the air, and then pulling them back in and knocking them into the air over and over again, is just brainless fun, and I approve.
Look at my yo-yo.
Ifrit's Devil Trigger moves are all vastly different from his normal ones once you buy the upgrades. So that's something to get used to, but Ifrit's Devil Trigger kicks so much ass. If you want to really annihilate enemies as fast as humanly possible, like dealing massive damage per hit, Ifrit's Devil Trigger is the way to go.
The two things that I look for when it comes to a satisfying weapon to use is how crunchy it sounds when I'm hitting an enemy with it, and how violently the screen shakes whenever I hit somebody.
So crunchy.
Yes.
Bumper cars. It's been a while since I quoted that.